Alright, and welcome back. This is Chuck at 2MMRC. So, I've just finished overhauling my Traxxas Maxx V2 and put it through its paces over the last week. So, just wanted to talk about it and show what's inside. It's a little bit different from a standard regular Maxx. First, I did paint the body, so that's a brand new body. The frame parts are existing from the old body. I just ripped those off because that's easy enough to do. I did buy a new back bumper and top bumper. I bought them in red and then I sprayed them black so I would get that whole ecto effect from Team Element, which is you get some wear and tear weathering as the car gets used more and more and more, which is kind of cool. That's what I wanted. And I also wanted to, the main thing about this build was I wanted to make it very an homage to the original Tmaxx. So it's very Tmaxx in its appearance. It's got the original red and white scheme that was the original promo paint job style. Slightly different, of course, because it's the Chuck style paint job as well on a Maxx truck. And I got the Tmaxx tires. The Tmaxx tires were really hard to find. Didn't realize that 14 millimeters are not used very often anymore. So bought the Tmaxx tires, got a great deal on those, pre-mounted onto these rims. And yeah, I had to get 14 millimeter spacers to go in there because they were just too close, to the center of the car. So the track of the car wasn't wide enough to make it really look badass. Now it is. It's pretty badass. Let me see if I can show that to you. It's got a nice wide badass look to it now, with great suspension. So I also upgraded the shocks. In the back, I did put Sledge shock bodies and Sledge springs using the internals of the Maxx V2 shock. So I'll just take that off and show you what's inside, and that way we can see. So first thing that you can see after I've taken the body off, the stance of the truck, it is actually a little bit raked now, as opposed to before with the Maxx would typically be flat, but once the battery is installed, it would simply lean back a little bit, and that created a lot of bottoming out with the rear. By using the Sledge bodies on the back here, it's now raked, and it doesn't bottom out on jumps that are 3 to 4 feet, which is really cool because you don't get that scraping effect and you don't hear the Lexan slapping, which sounded really painful and just really bad. The rest of it, yeah, all the internals have changed as well. Let's see if I can show that properly. Alright, so that looks a little bit different from a regular Maxx. I ripped this out, and I ripped this out, and I also ripped the servo out. I think I threw that one away because it really wasn't a very good servo. Right now, the servo, it's a 33 kg racing servo. It's got the torque and it's a lot faster. Also, the electronics, I went with proper 8-scale buggy electronics. So I've got a 1900 kV Performa motor, and I got a Hobby Wing XR8 Plus. So it's a proper 8-scale buggy speed control. Censored is really what I wanted. I just wanted something smooth that could deliver power evenly. The Maxx with this thing, it's cool, it's fast, but it's kind of jerky. So I smoothened out the power band with a censored motor system. And I also changed the diffs. On the diffs, what do I have there? I think I got like 100K, 20K. So 100, 120. 100 in the front, 100 in the center, and 20,000 in the back. So it's a lot smoother delivery, which allowed me to remove the wheelie bar. Without the wheelie bar, that actually helps a lot to provide a better balanced car as well. It can jump. It jumps a lot like the Revo, which I liked. With the Revo, I could control it in the air and on the ground. This now feels a lot more like a Revo in how it handles, but it still has the durability of a Maxx truck. I'm now going to shift to a front view, and I'm going to dip this down so you can see everything inside. It's got the red and black motif going, which is really sharp. And yeah, with the battery, I took out the 6700 Traxxas battery and replaced it with a 6000 Redline. Capacity wise, it's just as good. It's got a little bit more punch and stamina, just because of the C rating, so the voltage doesn't drop as quickly as I noticed with a 6700. And having the weight forward allows this car to jump and handle so much better. Also, yeah, with the shocks, I ended up going 40 weight all around, and that worked out really well. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how this car turned out. It's very different from what a typical Maxx would be, but I wanted something that handled well and had very smooth power delivery so that I could control it, because I've now hooked up my ND4, so I no longer have the TSM. It's a driver's truck now, which is really what I wanted from the get-go. And again, as I mentioned, I ripped out that old big honkin' blue Traxxas servo because it was just brutally slow. Now we got something that's manageably quick enough to react to what I want the vehicle to do. Let me just turn it on to show you how quick the actual servo is now compared to what it used to be. Well, I can't show you what it used to sound like because, you know, I ripped it out and threw it away. But let's turn this on. Alright, and with the car turned on, that servo is much faster than the original stock Traxxas servo. And that was really what I wanted. Power delivery is going to be a lot smoother as well. Let me see if I can show you. I'm just putting it onto a box right now. And this should allow us to see the power delivery. And that's been programmed with an over-the-air card from Hobbywing. So I got very smooth power delivery, which is something I didn't have with the original Traxxas electronics. So in a nutshell, that's my modifications to my Maxx. It's very smooth, very fast, and very agile. So that was the main thing. Those were the main things that I wanted out of this car. I now have it, so I think it's a one-of-a-kind build. I think it's really cool. It also very much pays tribute to the original Tmaxx appearance, which is really cool. I call it Maxxington. You know, name your truck, own it. That's part of the fun. So, this is Chuck signing off with Maxxington.